Bring the meeting together again. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there an extra agenda down there?
No, there's no agenda for this special meeting.
Huh? It was emailed to us. It was emailed.
Yeah, we didn't.
Does somebody have a copy so we can read it?
I've got one here, you can use this one.
I have one too.
Oh, you're just gonna give them
Here,
mine?
we'll share
Here,
one.
we'll share one. Yeah, he's
I
out.
have one.
Here, it's straightforward.
Yeah,
Okay, roll call. Bowman here. Laporte.
Here.
Patterson.
Here.
Addie.
Here.
Rush.
Here.
Frazier.
Here.
Honey.
Here.
Okay. Approve agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Minutes, none. Public comment, none. New business, open study session regarding Judd Road improvements.
So, Chair, if I may,
Yep.
before, Mr. Wilson's here from Wayne County. We had some questions. We met earlier with the, my mind's going blank on me. Ahmad and Tiffany. We emailed you those questions as it pertains to the intergovernmental agreement for Judd Road. None of the county road commissioners wanted to come with you tonight?
No, actually, I'm here on behalf of District 13 as a commissioner, and Don Laporte, the clerk, and Mark Patterson. I think you sent some questions over to me that what I got answered, so what I did. Then I got an opportunity to talk to the DPS director, Akinyemi, Mr. Akinyemi, Oludai Akinyemi, and I guess there was some type of disconnect, because he was a little perturbed as to why the questions were insistent, because he mentioned that he had talked to Ken Martin, I think, on one of two occasions about the Judd Road project, and at the end of the day, I insisted that they answer those questions, and I think I sent you all a copy this morning. I think you got a copy of the answers, and I think Mr. Bowman, I sent it to you as well. So those were the questions that came from members of your board up here, and Mr. Alan Cole, who is the engineer, DPS engineer, chief engineer, who's going to be responsible for this project. He sort of answered those questions in addition to Mr. Akinyemi. So what we have in a nutshell is that the county authorized $14 million. It was some leftover money for 2023 and additional $7 million for 2024. It's called the Township Initiative. And what happens is that each township had an opportunity up to $1 million to, the county's gonna supply $1 million maximum, and the township would have to match that $1 million. Some townships weren't able to come up with that type of money. So at the end of the day, the townships that could not come up with the $1 million, which is the max, the county was gonna match, the township could reach that objective, whatever they could contribute, whether it's 250,000, 500,000, or whatever the case may be. Whatever they contribute, the county is responsible for matching that, or will match that up to $1 million. So I was a part of those discussions last October, I believe it was, sometime last fall, to try and generate that money. So we have I think it's about maybe 10 counties throughout Wayne County. I think it's Huron, Sumpter, Van Buren, Canton. I can't remember all off the top of my head, but I know that most of the counties went before their board and they voted on a resolution in terms of how much money they will be able to present to the county. So what we're waiting on here from Sumpter, we're waiting on your resolution that indicates to us how much money you're gonna contribute, and then the county's gonna swiftly match that amount, up to $1 million. So that should be contained in your, I don't know if your questions, I think your questions were
Good time to ask
somewhere
that
along that
question.
road. But what we're waiting for, according to my individuals down at DPS, Mr. Cole specifically, he's waiting for that resolution, because he doesn't know exactly how much money you all would be willing to put forth for the 1.7 mile stretch of Judd Road, the one that's ravaged right now. And he says it's about 1.3? 2.3, okay, I think it was, okay, somewhere in that area, I know it's somewhere in that area, but it's, we're waiting for the resolution. That'll indicate everything. And then the county's gonna look at it. And then also, I'm told, again, I normally don't get engaged deeply into this, but because you all asked me to get involved, I met with, again, the DPS officials on several occasions to make sure you got all the information that you need. So, in a nutshell, what the DPS, Mr. Alan Cole, who's again, the deputy engineer, he's stating that the county has agreed to waive your design costs, your construction costs, and there were, operation costs. They're gonna waive that to give you an opportunity to, I guess you guys are gonna hire your own contractors, from what I understand, because I do have the intergovernmental agreement here on my phone. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to make sure I took a look at it. And if you're unsatisfied with the, I guess with the county being engaged, they said that you could take it over yourself. The money will be sent to you once the resolution is passed. And then the invoice, you have to invoice every month on the services, and whether it's $100,000 a month or $200,000 a month, we would give you our share of the monies that's committed to you. So I don't know if that answers all of your questions, but I did everything in my power to make sure they answered the questions that you all sent me the other day, and even to the point that Mr. Cole was gonna come out today, but purportedly he had an emergency, a family emergency. So that's why I'm here. And I don't actually need them anyway, because I've got all the information here, and any questions or concerns you have, if I don't have the answers for you, I'm gonna take them back to these guys and make sure we get them for you. But at the end of the day, they're looking forward to moving this project forward, in terms of whatever money you can contribute to give you the other half, so we can get started on the Judd Road project, which is gonna take, they're gonna start in the spring, which is somewhere in April, beginning of April, and it's gonna be finished by fall. So about 5-6 months, the road should be paved. They're gonna put a new road, with the existing gravel. I think one question was about the gravel. They said, Mr. Cole, who's our engineer, he said that the gravel base is very good. If we need to add additional gravel, he said that's no problem whatsoever. That'll be on Wayne County, Division Road Services. They would add the gravel. And as far as the ditches on each side of the road, again, I'm not an engineer, but the county is saying that there'll be no problem whatsoever. Whatever the county needs, whatever the township needs, they will be able to supply it. And the engineers that we have and the folks that we have are gonna be, they're more than capable of doing the work. So it seems that there was some type of disconnect about either the county doing it or you contracting someone to do it, or that's where the confusion kind of came in. And in lieu of that, we don't have the intergovernmental agreement that the county is waiting on you all to agree to with your township, your membership, and so we can move forward.
Sir, okay, there were some questions.
Yes, sir.
And I believe the board's a little apprehensive to get into a resolution
Sure.
without understanding the full scope of the work.
Okay.
And as it relates to the plans that were given to us and the cross-section cut views of those prints showed the ditches being cleaned out on both sides of the road. But it doesn't say how much earthen would cover the water mains that run down that road, and we don't want to expose those and create issues for our residents.
But
Okay.
they explained that they'll take it.
But I did get explained in the, that was one of the questions that got emailed to us and explained. I'm reiterating some of this to the public because
Sure.
they obviously have not had an opportunity to understand what we're even talking about.
Absolutely.
One of the questions is that if the township donates $1 million and the county donates $1 million and you get 2.1 miles of road completed, not 2.3, are they gonna leave
They
a
answered-
quarter
they
of
answered
a
that.
mile.
Okay, so the amount of road that's gonna be paved and the county is obligated to complete this project is whatever the intergovernmental agreement says. I mean,
Right.
what-
Well, it wasn't really clear in the intergovernmental
Okay.
agreement. That's why the question was
That
asked.
was one of my main
Yeah.
questions. So he said it's gonna be whatever the intergovernmental agreement says, that's what we're responsible for. And so, yeah, I'm glad you have your questions there, Mr. LaForte. So if you could, so just for the audience's edification, if you could perhaps kind of go through the questions, so in case they have any concerns, they could sort of address it, so they'll know what's going on. Or I can do it if you want. I mean, it's up to you. It's,
Well, the first question I had, I can go through mine, and Bart, you can go through yours if you like.
No, I just want to get something clear. So are we, is it, when they said 2.3, I'm thinking, so they go from 2 million to 2.3 million, or is it 2.3 miles?
the
Okay,
miles.
2.3 miles,
Miles,
so.
miles would be not- yeah, the
Got it,
miles-
so
thank you, sir. Yeah.
about a million a mile then, is what we're talking about, a little bit
Some
more,
facts
or
will be there.
a little bit
Yes,
less.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Some facts will be there.
Just, I would have to cross out, make sure I'm keeping track of this right. All right, go
Yes.
ahead.
So, and one of the questions, which we've just already touched on, was the scope of the work relates to ditch digging. They planned about unearthing the water mains, and the county reiterated in this email that, yes, they plan on leaving
Yes.
plenty of coverage over that.
Absolutely.
Then we talked about the financial commitments of the township versus the county, and they did agree that they will complete the project
Yep.
with township funding no more than $1 million.
Yes, 1 million, yeah, 1 million is the max for the county, and that's the max that you
So
all.
we're to take that as this project would never exceed $2 million.
Well, that was the discussion I had earlier. I think I got a question from you, Mr. Patterson, to that extent,
Yeah.
or somewhere along those lines. So, let me just see. I've got, so we had a meeting today with the Public Service Department, and we talked about the township paving program. And so we have $14 million, as I alluded to earlier. And there, so we have $7.7 million original funds are already obligated, and the construction will begin in April for most of the projects. So here's what I want to touch on. Round 2 application process in progress to determine awards for remaining funds.
That's what I was asking.
So as to your question, there may be an opportunity, don't know yet, because again, this is, it's fluid. Some townships can't afford it to the degree of the reach of the max, but some of them can afford $250,000 or $300,000 or $500,000 to that extent. So there may be an opportunity, don't quote me on this yet, but I'm gonna take this back and find out if that's actually a fact. So conceivably, it could possibly be additional funds. I'm not sure at this point, but.
So it's a definite maybe.
Yes, there's possibility if we go with the round 2.
Definite, maybe.
Yeah.
Our hope is that everybody would, all of the townships would come up with, their share, and then we pay the million, we will max out. But if the other townships can't afford to get to that threshold, then perhaps there may be some wiggle room,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Well, just a quick question to
Yes,
interject
sir.
on that too, is that when you're saying that each township has $1 million, I was under the assumption, talking to Huron, is that theirs was a total $3.1 million project with a 1.5 like match almost for like 1.55, so.
Again, I was a part.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I was part of the discussion, I do apologize, that's erroneous information.
Okay,
I emphatically, I tried to go as high as we could, but we could max out $1 million because we only had 14 million bucks.
right,
So we had
no,
7, and
Yep.
then we had another 7, so it's
Got
14
it.
million. And we devised, our accounting department devised $1 million would be the cap for anybody.
I got it, okay.
So,
So
yes,
I was given wrong
sir.
information then.
Yeah, pardon me?
I was given wrong
Yeah,
information.
I'm sorry, yes, sir. I wanted to make sure I got that because you did
Yeah.
ask that question.
Yeah.
That was very good.
Matt?
Chair,
Yes, sir, ma'am.
first, thank you for quelling the engineer's anxiety or angst of our questions, which seems interesting that he'd have a problem with us asking a few questions about spending $1 million. But do we know, I still don't have a solid number. What is the number to do the 2.3 miles? What is the cost?
What the county is waiting on is your resolution.
We need to pass it to be able to find out what it is, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, so, I mean, hold on, so let me finish. So my
So-
question is what I'm hearing is, but what I'm reading, and this is confirmation, that the county is only gonna pay $1 million.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna put in $1 million, but if it's $2.5 million, there's not enough to finish the road. So,
Yes.
I mean, at this point, I thought by now we would have at least an estimate of what it's gonna cost, Because it's hard to pass a resolution to say we're gonna contribute $1 million to something we don't know what the cost is.
Well, actually, the county, according to what I'm understanding from the Department of Public Services, they're waiting on you all to give them an estimate on what your cost would be.
Chair, can we ask Hennessy, do we have that number?
agreement.
Yeah, are you from Hennessy, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I keep hearing Hennessy, and I see the name here.
Yeah,
Okay.
the agreement shows that you will stop from whatever you needed the cost, up to 1.7. If you read it, I think number page 8 or somewhere there. Yeah.
Page 7.
So,
Are you doing the job out for contractor or the county doing themselves?
pardon me,
Is it the job out for bid already or not?
is the job open bid?
Yeah, or the county doing it themselves?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, again, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to make sure that you all understand it. Because most of the accountants have already gotten the resolution into the executive's office, so we can start getting ready to move forward with the project. We're still waiting on you and I think a couple of other townships that haven't given it to us yet, so we're.
Okay,
The
Chair,
agreement shows that you will stop whatever the money that you have, whatever you have, so.
Yeah,
you
one
may
million.
do- If the price came high, you may do 1.5 months. That's what I'm
I
trying
have
to
to
figure
figure
out.
out, so you have an intergovernmental agreement before you?
Yeah.
before you all
yeah,
ask?
hey, Chair, if I could say, it looks like it says the estimate is 1.7 million for the project. So, does that mean if it's 1.7 million, the township pays $1 million and the county pays 700,000? Or the county pays $1 million and we pay 700,000?
The way it is on page 2, it says the county will pay up to 1 million, the township paying 1 million. So it's putting that,
So,
Like a
so we're
50-50
paying
split.
1 and the county's paying 700,000 based on that estimate, right?
I thought it was a 50-50 split, meaning that we're both paying the same.
Says it both ways, basically, you can
it's
interpret it both
bad,
ways,
it's
so.
poorly written.
Right. So
And
which,
that's
so,
one of the
so
problems.
which is it? There's only like a,
That's
there's
one
only,
of the problems, so that's why when you get your line item, the IDA, if I read it, I'm like, I'm exactly right, there's something that's amiss here.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
So we can get that resolved, I mean, that's why I'm here, I'll make sure I take this information back to my commission, my county commission and the DPS department, make sure we're all on the same page.
Because that seems cheap. I'll just be honest, it seems cheap to do 2.3 miles of road for 1.7 million. It's to do the ditches and all the other costs. I mean, I don't know if they're rolling all that in there, or if it's separate, but it just seems very inexpensive. Seems like the county should have been paved these roads a long time ago if that's all it costs to do 2.3 miles.
Well, I can only speak for.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just, looking at it from that
But
perspective, yeah.
I want to make sure I'm here so I can understand all your concerns.
Yeah.
So I can make sure we all on the same page so we can get this project started. If you have any additional questions that's not answered here, make sure you let me know, and I'm gonna get this back to the proper individuals, my commission and some other folks, and make sure we get you.
Well, I think the first question is, if the project is 1.7 million, is the county paying the million, and we pay 700,000, or is the township paying the million and the county's only paying 700,000?
The county is going to pay $1 million max. So if you, however close you come to, we're gonna pay $1 million. So.
Well, that's all I want to say. You're paying $1 million, we're paying 700,000 if it's 1.7. That's all I want to hear.
Let me clear it up, let me clear it up. Paragraph 6.1 says, the parties acknowledge the county shall contribute up to 50% of the project cost. However, in no event shall the county contribute an amount that exceeds $1 million. It's a 50-50 deal, but you're not out of pocket more than $1 million.
That's right.
Above that, at 5.3 though, it says the county shall pave Judd Road and manage the construction. I don't know what that means. If the county was obligating itself to pave Judd Road, which means all of Judd Road, because it sort of insinuates that, but it'd be nice if there was a little bit more definitive language in there, then in terms of the contract, whether the board decides to do it or not, in terms of the contract, then it would give us a high level of comfort that you're talking about finishing all of Judd Road, right? And then, and the definitions, which is kind of interesting, and I think, Ahmad, you were talking about this, on 1.11, it talks about engineers' estimates. So there's a document floating around out there with the engineers put together that sets forth the estimates as to how they arrived at 1.7. So what we wanted was Hennessy to have a chance to look at that and let us know, so that, I mean, is this a legitimate?
Mr. Cole said he sent that information to the, when I talked to him this morning, you had requested that information, and he alleges that he sent the information to, did anybody receive that information?
I don't remember.
Okay, so,
I mean, he told us, I guess he told, it would be, the estimate was 1.7, but I guess the question from Hennessy was, how did you get to that number? This, plus this, ditching, you know, and all that.
Right.
How do you get to 1.7?
Okay.
And the real angst, I guess, of this whole thing is, aside from having to contribute and all of that, is if the township did, if the township undertook to do this project, we don't have any plans, we don't have any description. The only thing that we would, I think, agree to, and when I say this, I'm only saying this because I've listened to this debate back and forth.
Sure.
The only possibility that this would work for the township is if whatever we put in, it ultimately ended up in that entire Judd Road being paved from, well, where it ends right now, all the way to Rawsonville Road. And you can't stop 20 feet short or 100 yards short, whatever, you know? So that's, and I can tell you're working your brains out trying to help us, and I, for one, really appreciate, I shouldn't say for one, I think everybody appreciates your efforts, and you're not an engineer, nor am I, so we're kind of struggling with this, and it would have been nice if the county would have been here, and I guess we didn't mean to offend them by asking them to come out and explain what it is they're asking us to do, but.
I'm glad you said that. You're pretty smart young man, Mr. Attorney. Because that's exactly the discussion I had on Friday.
All right.
And I actually had a heated discussion with the DPS director. Be very, no sense, I was pissed off. So why in the F?
Front Street?
Go there, so you can answer so many questions, because I have all the information here, most of it, but I don't have the intricacies that I need to be able to give the accurate reply or response. So what I ask you to do, Mr. Attorney or the board here, the specificity, your question that you just asked about the cost, engineers should have that. And the folks who are gonna do this work should have that. I mean, I need to make sure that we're clear on the exact amount. There's no time for guesstimation. You have to make sure it's gonna be 2.1 miles, here's the cost. Here's the materials, here's the line item. Because what this is that the county plans on matching what you do, but the invoices, you're not gonna have to pay, nobody's gonna pay everything up front. You're gonna have to have an invoice every month, how much you're paying, 200,000 or 100,000, the county will match that month as we proceed throughout the months, to what Mr. Cole alluded to this morning when we had a nice discussion in my office. But I want you, if you have those specific questions, if you could.
We can do that.
So we
I think
can,
Ken's got something that he might have to add, if I wasn't told.
Yeah.
Chair, I got a question. So you guys, Matt and Rob, you walked up to the door, but you didn't go through the door and ask the question. And the question is, 2 million, what if it's 2.5?
Okay.
I know you said, are you gonna stop? But who's gonna pay the 0.5? So you're asking us to bite off on the whole project?
The county's not gonna go over 1
They're
million.
gonna stop to whatever the money available, based on 1 million, 1 million.
So
Right,
we're
so
on, we'd
that's
be on the
not
hook.
really paving the whole road
We would
if.
be on the hook to finish the road.
But what I'm getting at is you're asking us to go forward with this, and we don't even know. We don't know, yes, we were told the 1.7, but is that the real number? And if we bite off on it and we say, yeah, we'll put in 1 million and you're putting in your million and it's more than that, then that means we're gonna have to come out of our pocket for more to get it finished.
I do surmise that may be a correct assessment or assumption. Again, the meeting today, the meeting last September, 1 million was a cap for every township, 1 million from the county, based on our township initiative monies. Now, what we're gonna try and do moving forward, because this is such a hot issue, especially with the townships, I mean, the dirt roads, the culverts, flooding, I mean, this is really, really significant in the townships, whereas the city doesn't face, for the most part, this type of issue. So, District number 11 has 3 townships, as you all are privy to. It's Van Buren, Sumpter, and Huron. There's an awful lot of issues. As a matter of fact, there was a list compiled this morning at the public services meeting, and it said Alan R. Wilson, I think that was my name, but it said it was like 20 pages worth of complaints coming out of those 3 townships alone, versus the city of Detroit, where you have like 12 commissioners, and there was like about 12 pages between all 12 of them, a page apiece. So this is where the concentration of monies, my estimation, should be, because of all of the unique issues that you have out here with the dirt roads and all of the infrastructure. So I'm busting my tail best I can, because this is my job. You guys, I'm elected to represent you. And I mentioned that to the DPS director, and he didn't really, we had a few words, let's put it that way. I don't boast about that, but we had a few words, because I'm a strong individual. I guess he thought he was too, but I guess he got a little upset because he says, why do we even have to go out there? We've been talking to Mr. Martin. We've been, I guess that's, he said, he said, I personally met with Mr. Martin. He says, I've given them information that they need. He says, we're gonna, they know what the IGA states. He says, so they get there, we'll match it, and we'll move forward. He says, so I don't think there's any value added for me to come out to this meeting. I said, well, I'm gonna be out there, because you appointed and I'm elected. So I'm gonna be out there, because I have to respect, what they're trying to do, and I have to be accountable for what I'm trying to do.
Sure.
So,
Is this
long and
being
short of it
recorded?
is that
It's being televised, recorded. I was wondering maybe if Mr. Wilson should be at the podium where the residents
He's
can actually
pretty
hear
loud
him.
and clear.
Yeah. Chair, so, I mean, reading the letter, just going through, and,
Yes, sir.
and maybe this is where Hennessy hasn't got up to speed yet, or because they don't have the information they need. According to the response we got from, the county.
Mr. Cole.
Yeah, after, they said that, Sumpter requested that the road be paved, and the county's doing this as a courtesy to perform the work. It states that the township is responsible for providing the cost estimate. And so the county's done a cost estimate, but we're responsible for a cost estimate. Have we finished our cost estimate yet?
No, how can you
Okay.
finish customers without
Yeah,
details?
got it. I understand that's where we're at. I just want to make sure that's clear, but
Their
it states that,
engineer, when they come up with that 1.7, they should have in front of them
yeah.
a complete design plan. Based on that, they come up with the numbers. But what,
Okay.
just on that issue, I just drove that site there, because the cross section is showing that typical ditch on both sides. If those hydrant right now, let's say in front of the water main, but the water main away from the ditch, it's not gonna be a problem that they cause on Robinson. The only problem you would have, like on the opposite side, where they're gonna create another ditch, where there's a house and there's a lead going from the north to the south, or from the south to the north, they may uncover over that. So the only way they can do it, either lower it, or to put a cover over it and bury it, so you maintain the cross protection for that one.
Okay, so DPS did provide cost estimates, and I guess the engineers designed the project, and I guess Steve Shea,
Steve Shea, DPS director.
he presented it to the contractors, is what Mr. Cole said this morning, and in addition, they were saying the design of the project was no cost to Sumpter. They didn't, because normally you would have to get a design contractor, and then you would have to get operations folks. I mean, Mr. Cole said they covered all of that for you all. Make that, I mean, that's what the information I got this morning, and they said that, they sort of mentioned that to Mr. Martin. Is this Kim right here, right?
Nope. No.
Where's
Right
Kim?
here.
I keep looking over here. This is Kim.
Hi.
Mr. Martin, would you speak for yourself? I mean,
It's Mr.
that's
Martin.
what
It's Martin.
Mr. Martin,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir.
So what's the question?
Were you provided with any estimates from the county?
I've not seen an estimate. No, I have only seen the number included in emails and included in the proposed agreement. So let me be clear on what I've received, because I don't want you guys to think that I've been not sharing information, right?
I'm just here to make
I
sure
know,
everybody's on the
right.
same page.
So I received a proposed agreement sometime months ago. I made some suggested corrections to the county. They took those suggestions, provided me with a revised or amended agreement. I've given it to Rob. Rob has it. I have it right here. I have the agreement. The only other thing that I have received are these plans, which you all have copies of, I suppose, in front of you, right? Okay, that's it. And I got these, I've been asking for these for months. I received them in December. They're dated July. I don't know why I couldn't get them sooner than when I asked. I mean, we could be, this whole conversation could have been tackled months ago, like in '25, rather than now. And when the county to tell me, well, you're sitting on X, that's not accurate. It's not.
One question, Mr. Martin. When you first asked for information in July, you said it was?
Well, no, these are dated July.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, help me out. What's dated July?
These plans are, these road design plans are dated July.
Because Montgomery conversation earlier today with the GPS group. I emphatically stated that I need to be engaged with everything that's going on in my district. So, and I'm glad that Mr. Laporte and Mr. Patterson helped me along the way. I think I saw one or two emails from you, but I don't think I was ever, I think you sent them to Cole and Shea.
Yes,
So as a
yeah.
commissioner, that was our private meeting. I'm not going to.
Right, I understood.
What we said.
Right.
But I said, this is disrespectful for the commissioner not to have any freaking idea on what you guys are doing in one of my municipalities. So I think that's where the issue started, because I guess, I don't know what happened before, that's not who I am. I'm talking about the January 1st only. So it's my job to make sure you get the information that you need and make sure it's accurate. So that was one of the issues about, maybe that's why somebody didn't show up, I don't know.
It's
I have
possible.
no idea, but I know I'm here, and I'm
Right.
looking at you all, and you seem to be a very strong group that's passionate, have integrity about what you're doing. That's what I appreciate. So I want to take this, make sure any questions or any inaccuracies, I want to take it back and make sure we get expeditious and correct information so we can proceed with Judd Road, because every time I'm looking around, the fire truck is got flat tires, and the emergency vehicle is running into
Yeah.
potholes, can only go 5 miles an hour.
Right.
That's a health and safety issue. We're talking about life and limb now. So that, I take this very, very seriously. So that's why I want to make sure that in the future, I mean, hopefully we get this resolved, but in the future, if you, A. Wilson, one of you at Wayne County, MI.gov, that's me. I get this information, but it should be on you. It should be on my guys in the DPS to make sure I get this information. So that's why I got a problem. Anyway,
Right, and
and I'm gonna have.
the reason why I wanted these at an early time was so that our engineers, who are sitting right here, could have an opportunity to review them and confer and ensure that the plans were somewhat related to what a road construction project would be like. I've done this before in other communities.
Absolutely.
I know what plans look like. And I value the opinion of the consulting engineer. And to suggest that they don't have a concept of what this is in here, not that you're sitting there,
No,
is kind of,
But is that what you said the county is alluding to?
yeah, I kind
Is that what
of,
you-
yeah, I don't want to put words in anybody's
Well, I
mouth.
understand what you're saying,
But-
the inference, okay,
Yeah,
take the words out.
right. I mean, if you look at some of these responses,
Okay.
this is, you know, is topographical survey included? Yes, here it is. This is not topographical survey, just for an example.
Chair,
Anyway,
I-
go ahead, guys,
So
I'm
I think-
sorry.
I think we're at a point now where what we need from the county is a detailed cost estimate. We need their detailed drawings that they put together to come up with that cost estimate, as our township manager, Mr. Martin, has alluded that the drawings that they sent us are not detailed
Excuse me,
enough.
sorry, I'm gonna write this down.
Yep.
Or either you have a final.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
find out what the process, when
Okay.
trustee
Yeah.
Ivy's done, we'll
And-
figure out mechanically how we do
Yeah,
that.
and it sounds like we need to have, you know, the more detailed drawings so that our engineers can, you know, look at them and come up with proper funding or costing and estimates. I did want to touch on the thing, I'm glad you said they could bring in some gravel, because I am very concerned about them just slapping asphalt over that dirt road.
Yep.
Because it's dirt, it's
Oh, they
not
can't
gravel,
do that.
right? I mean, that's the thing, is it's a dirt road, it's not a gravel road, and anytime you see them paving anything in this county, they dig down 12 inches, 15 inches, and they pack in 15 inches of brand new.
It's important to find out how the
Yeah,
place is good.
right.
And the cross-section called for new stone.
Yeah, yeah, but the whole road itself, for me, is, I'm worried about the integrity of the underneath, because that's one of the problems, it always fails with the potholes and everything else, but, yep, I'm glad, yeah, I'm glad that they're gonna do something with that. But I wanted to circle back, because, you know, we have residents here, we kinda jumped right into the middle, and to the point of why we're here, no, it was good, but, you know, we got here, as you alluded to, is we ran into state of emergencies, essentially, where our public safety director had to basically put out warnings that we were having trouble getting down the roads for public safety. And for me, I look at that as, that's a failure on the county to maintain the road properly so that it can be used for, safely by the public safety officers, to get to those locations, you know, in a timely manner. And for me, I'd like to see the county pay to maintain their road. I mean, the only reason we're asking for this is because we have states of emergency and the poor conditions of the road. If the county can't maintain it because it is a dirt road, why won't they pave it? Then continuing year after year, putting the residents into a state of emergency because of the conditions. And I understand it's hard to maintain those roads, but my point to that is, if the county can't maintain the road because it's a dirt road, why won't they pave it?
So this road is, like many other roads, it needs high maintenance. And it's difficult to maintenance it when the weather is inclement, as we all read it out.
Yep.
So, and unfortunately, this is a main road. Leads to a lot of very important, critical facilities for the health and safety of our residents here in Sumpter. So I do agree with your thought process that the county should be obligated to maintain county roads. But it's a dirt road now, so their maintenance, quote unquote, or our maintenance, again, I've been on this job for about 11 months, and I can see there's a lot of moving parts. And it being a former UAW official, I can see through my life. And I'm not casting any aspersions on anyone, but this job is my job. I'm not blaming you, it's my job to make sure you get what you need. And if you say you need, $2 million, then I'm gonna fight like heck to get it. If I can only get you $1 million, I'm gonna tell you why, and what we need to probably do to try to get the other. So this is very helpful for me and very, very educational to be here in front of you, to see that you all are very committed to making sure you protect your residents. And I'm as committed as you are. So getting back to the road, that dirt road, it's a lot of maintenance. There's no doubt about it. And that's predominantly my cause about dirt roads, and culverts, flooding, and predominantly the townships. So given the fact that this is a major road, and I did receive information from your fire chief, it was a heck of a, I think I got from Mr. Report, and it was very jaw-dropping to see, the speed that they have to travel across these craters. I don't call them potholes, they're craters. And you got people's lives, the lives of our citizens that are at stake. So I think that is why it is definitely an emergency. So I understand you probably all are thinking collectively that if it's an emergency, it's county road, you got these potholes, you're trying to go over a couple more dollars. I think I understand where we're going with this. So I'll make sure I take all this.
I'd love that, because one of the discussions we haven't had yet is the amount of money, free money that we have available in our community. Even though we have a lot of money that is encumbered for, whether it's our enterprise funds or whether it's our police funds and different funds, it's not available. It may look like we're cash flush, but when you take all those pots away, it's how much open money that we have. And I think Treasurer Patterson, you had that number, was between 5 and 6 million somewhere.
Approximately, yeah.
Yeah,
We're checking on
approximately,
that.
which
Finance
means
director's gonna be checking on it, too.
us adding $1 million to that is taking 20% of our available cash to put into that road.
Okay. That's very well understood.
Sure, just a couple questions I wanted, so, like, I know you said that there will be a time when you'll talk about possible available funds, the definite maybe joke thing.
Yeah, that's still,
But when?
It's still murky right now, but.
When would we know that? Because I mean, I know how that saying goes, like, we go like, okay, well, there's a possibility, and then we're having a discussion in June and July and August, September, the road's all done, we're like, well, what about those funds? Yeah, they're not there.
I can
Well,
rest-
what about that possible
I
maybe?
can rest assured that as long as you and Don have my phone number,
Yeah,
it ain't gonna take long to get
Yeah.
that. If you're trying to figure out what we need to do, because you guys are, and I appreciate it, I mean, just like we got, the beavers we had to chase out of that parking lot? I mean, my man, to his credit, he's on me every day, saying, hey, Mr. Commissioner, we got the beavers down here, they're flooding, the dam is flooded, it's backing up to the yards.
it was every other day, it wasn't every day.
Oh, every And Mr. Report, I appreciate you as well, because you've been very, very, engaged. So, and I'm not saying the rest of you haven't, these two gentlemen that I know, because they definitely are some
Well,
passionate advocates of.
So the answer is, we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know yet, because.
We don't know if there will be funds, and we don't know when we'll know.
Well, it was discussed this morning.
Okay,
And what was discussed this morning,
just the short, yeah, okay.
So at this morning at the big public services meeting that I was privy to, the DPS chair was under the impression that all of the resolutions were in, and that we can kind of count the money, because here's who's gonna contribute as a township, here's what we're gonna match with, this is how much we have. So if there's some monies left over, that's where the round two came about.
Okay.
So that's why, again,
Got it.
so round two hasn't started yet, but I had to interject and say, no, I'm going to Sumpter Township tonight. They don't have it, they have an IGA, but they have no resolution.
Right.
So they said, oh, no, they do. No, they don't. So that was the disconnect. And it was a disconnect with a few other townships as well, which is when the chair of the committee, God bless, she said, let's get the accurate information. Because I was under the impression that everybody had the resolutions and the IGs were agreed to, we're gonna start the work. So,
Okay, so,
so I need to find out if that's, I know we had the discussion, but I can probably make a call this evening to make sure.
so we're just, so wait on, the last one is the intergovernmental agreement says that the county is gonna be doing the paving, but then there's also an email that just says the township's gonna be doing the paving. Like, we're responsible to hire our contractors and all, so,
From what I understand.
yeah, so understand, like, this is what the confusion is I was gone the last meeting, I don't really miss many meetings at all, and all of a sudden, like, what's going on, like, and you're telling me, like, well, we're just waiting on you to sign, like, we just need the agreement, like, well, there's so much confusion, we don't even know what are we agreeing to, so.
So that is, and that's why I'm so apologetic that Mr. Cole isn't here, because he was the guy, our engineer but he had an emergency.
Yeah, all right,
So
anyway.
I was trying to get there, I got some information out of him, here it is, and, but moving forward, not to point the fingers, I'm gonna be engaged personally, because I take this personally. And, if I got a manager that can't show up, and we got one or two questions I can't answer accurately, I'm not gonna give you a pie in the sky, I'm gonna try to give you the accurate information, because it's reflect who I am. So I don't really know at this juncture, but I'm gonna find out.
Got it.
At this juncture.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to come across like we're beating you up too bad too, so.
Me and Mr. Laporte talk, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have the information that you need, it's gonna be the correct information, it's not gonna be a guesstimation.
So, Chair, can I have the floor?
Sure.
So, do you think it's possible you could come back or get some kind of numbers to this board before our
Yeah,
next
I'm going-
meeting, the second,
Your next meeting?
yeah, it'd be the fourth Tuesday of the month,
Absolutely,
He-
that's why I'm here.
He said,
So I wanna make
yeah,
sure.
before the next meeting.
before the next meeting.
Whatever, sure. I mean,
So we
I'm
can
gonna-
have an accurate number
I'm gonna,
and,
whatever we're missing here, again, the IG is a little, there's some things that are a little confounding. I give you that.
Conflicting.
And my guys at DPS didn't do,
well,
a stellar job.
well,
So we make sure-
we're past that, right?
Well,
So,
we still, we're not past that. We still wanna make sure that we get.
Well,
accurate
absolutely.
information to you, because
But
you deserve it.
we
So,
appreciate you coming out, but
it's
the
my
the
job.
board's,
No, I appreciate you being, it's my. look,
well, the board's
this is
just
my
gotta be
job.
fiscally responsible with, and understand when we're writing a check, we know what we're writing a check for.
That's fair enough.
And what we're gonna get out, what the expectations are,
Okay.
completely. I mean, there's some people that sitting up here might not wanna write a check at all. So, I mean, so to ask this board to give you a blank check, right, is just not reasonable. And I know you understand
Yeah,
that, so,
I'm more than, yes, sir.
I think, Don, like you said, I think the piece that we're missing, that you're gonna get to us, is the detailed cost estimate and the detailed engineering drawing. That gets us to be able to do ours, right?
yeah.
You're up, Rob.
If you guys want a signed agreement, Mr. Wilson, if you guys want a signed agreement, we'll give you one tomorrow, if I can write it. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. And it would be the township will now, whether I guess I need to find out if there's a consensus to even go forward. Well, it would be very simple that the township would contribute up to $1 million to have the rest of Judd Road paved according to the specifications, design specifications that are reviewed by Hennessy and approved. And we don't have to worry about costs or any of that. I mean, if the county says we will pay and cover that after we've given $1 million, then that is about the best we can do, I understand. And then it would be up to the board to decide if they want to do that.
Okay.
So given that contract is not hard to do. The hard part is when we scratch our heads trying to figure out what to put in it and all these other issues.
Okay.
And then the second thing I want to say is I don't think you want emails from 6 of us. So we should figure out how we do this. I mean, do we send all of our questions to the township manager and let him accumulate those?
Yeah, how do
And
you figure you wanna do it? That sounds, I mean, how are you doing?
you want 6 sets of questions?
I like to have one resolve, one collective resolve, coming from one party.
Well,
That's fine. That's
And,
okay.
and maybe Ken, if I don't mean to, okay, he's waved an affirmative, so we can send.
Okay.
And then that way, if there's duplications, he's not gonna send you the same question 3 times and, clear it up, make some, he's good at drafting, so he can clarify questions.
So if you'll bear with me, I'm gonna see if I can get Mr. Alan Cole on this, that's what I'm doing here, I'm trying to see, I'm texting him, I'm saying, hey, where the hell are you at? And,
I mean,
And he probably owes you dinner.
He owes you one hot seat. You can-
That's all right.
I'm just, you know, I don't care. Do this all day long. Just take them,
Mr. Cole? Yes, sir, okay, so I'm here with these awesome and wonderful board members.
He's gonna
Like
kill
some
him.
carnivorous, where the hell you at, man? But anyway. So, they have a few questions here, so I wanna make sure that, I can try and get them their answers as expeditiously as practical. I went through all the information here with them, and they understood that the questions that, your team was able to answer, but they still had a couple outstanding questions that I couldn't give them accurate, information on. So, that's why I got you on the phone, because I don't wanna leave them hanging. I wanna make sure they get the information that they're requesting. Yes. Oh, you're driving?
Do this later.
Okay.
Yeah, family
Okay.
emergency. They said
All right,
they'd
so,
take care of.
I guess I can do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna have their attorney, they got a few more questions, so they're gonna funnel the questions, through the city manager, and then, I can present them to you, this evening or tomorrow morning, and then, you can answer them, then I can get back to them and give them the accurate information that they're seeking. That'll be great. I really appreciate it.
Well,
You
if we're
safe
gonna get to
travels,
him
man.
tonight,
I'm
I mean,
gonna-
we got
And
other
then we'll,
things to do.
we'll get the information. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. Okay. So he's driving.
Give us a day or two, so, yeah.
Pardon?
Give us a day or two, like, I don't know about tonight, but.
He said, thank you for that, Mr.
Yeah.
Richard, we'll handle it, and I'll get the information, so give whatever you were lacking here, let me know, I'm gonna give it to this guy, I'm gonna give it to Dr. Yemi, you're gonna get exactly the response that's accurate and not a guess. So-
Can you tell him one thing for us all, please? We're happy that his family emergency was resolved.
Yeah.
Now you sound like the next one. I used that one back in the day now. I can tell why you're the attorney.
No, just frustrated, that's
But no,
all.
I'm frustrated too, that's why I'm here, and I'll get this answer whenever you give me give
All
me
right.
those questions, I'll get the answer back and then we'll go for it.
All right.
You guys deserve to have a solid, accurate response, and that's what I'm gonna get you, that's
Chair, if I may? Yeah, Mr. Wilson, thanks for coming
Well,
tonight.
thank you. I don't want to keep too much of your time, I know the residents.
Yeah.
That's what concerns you as well. I'll stick around if you want, or I can.
Yeah, I've got a question for you, and just a statement.
Sure.
We can all agree, sitting in this room, that it is a public safety crisis, Judd Road. It's been haunting us for a couple decades, basically. Do they really understand at the DPS what we're going through with that road? I don't think they do.
They
because
don't, because they don't live on gravel.
Yeah, because.
They don't deal with gravel.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. I mean,
My 90-year-old mother laid on my marble floor, bleeding for 45 minutes before the first responders could get to her. Another 45 minutes before an ambulance could get to my home, just off of Judd Road, okay? Once they got her on a stretcher and got her mobilized, got her in an ambulance, I picked up the pillow and it weighed 10 pounds with the blood she lost, waiting on an ambulance because of the dirt road condition. These people down there, they don't realize what we're going through because they don't deal with it on a daily basis, you know?
I agree.
It beats your brains out going down them roads.
Yes, sir.
And you can't expect the first responders to fly down the road and risk their life.
Chair,
They damaged the vehicle as well.
Chair, and you're absolutely correct, and Mr. Wilson, you seemed surprised when he said decades. These roads have always been dirt, and the county's always had a lack of being able to maintain them because they are dirt. I mean, it's not, whether they have to come down them once a week to grade them or not, this has been going on for decades, and it's just come to a head where it's becoming more and more of a public safety issue because of the increase in residents and things that, we have more calls, that's what it is, but it is decades. I mean, as long as that road has been dirt and the county's been maintaining it and cars have been going down it, they've been impassable. I remember hearing stories that residents used to have to park on the main road and walk down the road because they couldn't get their car down the road. I mean, this has been going on for decades, and it needs to be fixed. And
But you
I-
still pay your taxes to
Yeah.
Lane County.
So, obviously, they haven't done an effective job. If we're here 20 years later or 10
Yes.
I mean, I think somebody's pointed here, that it should probably be paid long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
And, so, I'm sorry, go ahead, Bob.
So, no, just a quick question, something that I'm, since this came all up here, I've talked to 3 different residents. The question that they ask, and I asked, I think it was Matt, some have been on the board back when Fenster subdivision was paved back then. Even Ashley in my office there, she moved in and shortly after the road was paved, I said, do you remember the board, the township paying for that? She said, no, it was the county. She said, she goes, all I remember, she said, I remember it being said that the county said it's cheaper for us to pave this area than it is to maintain the road, the gravel base and all that type of thing on a continual basis. So, but Matt, trustee Adi's recollection was, he goes, I don't think the township had to pay for that. I asked our finance director, look into it, saying, can you look back in the book, see, did we have to pay for that? So now, like, all of a sudden, we're looking like, we gotta pay for a road that's not really ours? Like, what?
That was, in part, he would ask you what it was. That's the first part of Judd Road that's paved. The
Yeah.
county paved that, I think, between
Yeah.
2016 and 2018.
So when you
around
go down,
something
when you
like
go
that.
down to Judd Road on Sumter, you turn
I know they
on
did
Judd,
it. We
that
didn't
subdivision has
contribute
been paved.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So,
It's a subdivision off of Judd Road, that little small road from Sumter to Bond that is paved subdivision. But, everybody's recollection was that we think that the county paid for that, township didn't have to pay for that.
Yeah.
if that's one of your questions, you can install.
Yeah, well, that's number of the questions, like, well, why, what changed to where the township has to put all the funds into it, so, for a county road?
I'd be remiss if I
Because,
responded.
because I think I did ask you, on top of that too, I think I asked you while you were with, this gentleman that you're talking to, and I said, let's just fast forward to like 15, 20 years from now, when it has to be repaved. I said, who repaves it at whose cost? And you said, well, the county repaves it. Well,
Yeah, but-
okay, so if the county repaves it,
Yeah,
their
well,
cost,
That, when I talked to Mr. Cole this morning,
yeah,
and one of your questions, I think, spoke to that,
Right.
about who's gonna pay for resurfacing.
that was my question, yeah.
And Mr. Cole alluded this morning that he said that the township would be responsible.
Oh, well, that's changed then, since
But
you and I
then-
spoke earlier this week,
So
right?
that's why I'm saying there's some disconnect here. So he said the township would be responsible, but as a part of the township initiative, the county would recompense you for it.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but I hear what
you
you're
hear
saying.
what I'm hearing, right?
I hear what
Okay.
you're saying. So-
All right.
So again, it's my job to make sure you got accurate information. And make
Yeah.
sure you got
Okay.
detailed information. I'm not gonna tell you something that's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. So I wanna make sure I get you what you need.
Got it.
And that'll help me get what I need, which is some peace. Coming here, you guys are really passionate about what you're doing. I wanna be peaceful giving you responses. And right now I feel a little edgy because I don't have all the accurate, if you
Yeah.
will, to all your questions. I can answer some of them, but not all of them. I won't be comfortable to answer all of them.
I got it.
Accurately and professionally.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
After you pave it, the county is still getting the Act 51 money.
Act
And
51,
that should go
yes.
to the maintenance, not to the township.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is what Act 51.
More questions to be answered.
Let's
That's
get it-
20
let's
years
get it-
from now, I'd love to dig.
So let's
in
get
2
it
months.
paved first.
Let's get it paved.
Yeah, we might be gone before who needs it.
okay, so you all can give me that
All right.
information.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Accurate response, and hopefully we can move forward with this program. And I'm also gonna take some of your concerns back and see if there's any possible way that we get any additional money, because of the health and safety crisis that we're facing on the road. So I wish I could say yes emphatically, but I gotta shake some trees.
I got a solution for that. If other communities can use their $1 million allocated for, can you use it?
Yeah, that's what
he
yeah,
said he's
I
gonna
asked him
do,
that
yeah.
earlier.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, well.
You see, that's the definite maybe he'll check into later, but we don't know when we'll know that.
That's the second
Yeah.
part that I talked to you
Right.
about.
Yeah.
The monies, if there are monies left over,
Mhm.
not really sure how they're gonna handle it. So, again, it's a good idea, but I can't say yes or no, but I wanna make sure I try to confirm if it is a possibility. So, that's what I plan on doing.
All right.
So.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thanks.
All right, I appreciate you all very much, and,
Thank you
very much.
Thanks for coming, Mr.
Oh,
Wilson.
no, it's my pleasure, it's my job.
Ellen, can you hang on a second?
We gotta finish the meeting first.
And after, that's what I was meaning.
Okay, so do we have any announcements?
I'll make
I got
a
one,
motion
Sheriff.
Motion.
I'll do it in this meeting since, we're not next. I have, our planner is working on a couple of things for us, and one of them is a moratorium for data centers. So I'm hoping that's gonna be coming to us by the next meeting, so that we can just put that in place, and, so we'll be ready to gather information as opposed to trying to fight a place that's already spec'd or already purchased land, so,
Thank you,
our
sir.
planner will bring that for consideration, at the next meeting.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes, motion.
2 minutes.